Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Welcome to Around the Turnbuckle. I'm the Big Alboski. That guy right there is Professor Keith, as always. And joining us tonight is the one, the only Keith, the Hyena. What's up, my man?
It's awesome to be here. I love it. I love the
We are
intro.
glad to have you. You are one of our final two guests of 2023.
Oh,
Professor and
wow.
I are taking a hiatus the last 2 weeks because it's Christmas Eve and because it's
Of course,
New
of
Year's
course.
Eve, back-to-back Sundays, and we're normally on Sundays. So we'll be back in 2023, guys, with all new guests. We got a lot of cool guests lined up already for the month of January. Keith and I are coming off of checking out a PPW show locally here in Slatington, and hats off to you guys. I know you guys watch. Some of you guys do. The Brothers Gray, thanks for having us last
Oh, I
night. It
know
was
them.
great to see you guys in person. You guys, you know him? You know those
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah, I know those two. They're very great guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
good
yeah.
guys.
And
Phenomenal.
I've gotten to share the ring with them. Gotten to share the ring in the locker room with Salem and both Damien. Shout outs to those two gentlemen. Miss them, love them. So I love what they're
Big,
doing.
big dudes too, right? Like pretty big.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I know you're tall too, but I mean,
I'm
pretty
like
big
6'2",
dudes.
so yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're pretty big dudes, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And meeting them in person was awesome. Seeing them live in person was great. Brandon's here. Brandon says Hyena is the real deal. There you go.
Yeah, damn right.
Hello, Brandon. David
Hey,
Motorman,
man.
our old friend professor, says it's Sunday night around the turnbuckle and time to howl with the Hyena. Very cool mask and
Thank
surely
you.
a great story to tell. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, before we get into that story, just one more thing, one more item up for bids here, Professor, and that is I want to give a huge shout out to Order 66. They are the new SWO Tag Team Champions, and they will be here on this program next Sunday at 7. They are our final guest of 2023. So, General Kiesel, Django Ren, we will see you guys next week on Around the Turnbuckle, one day after they defend that title in an open challenge, Professor, in Seven Valleys.
One thing you got to talk about is it is balls in any company to issue an open challenge, especially in the SWO, because you never know who's going to show up. But at the same time, I think it's balls to step in the ring with Order 66. I mean, they've been nothing short of dominant, destructive, pick an adjective.
By the way,
Django
Mary
made a
Sithmas,
surprising return.
Order 66,
Love
Mary
it.
Sithmas.
Love it. I'm a Star Wars fan, so I can appreciate.
All right, guys. So the Hyena has a very intriguing story, and if you don't believe us, he's gonna tell it. So Hyena, tell your story. Start from the beginning, man, and we'll ask questions along the way if we have any.
Where do I start? Oh man, I remember I started as a fan of pro wrestling and started as a fan of Smiley and the Chikara guys, and then just recently I got to share a locker room with Smiley, so we're going to get there eventually. But I started training back in 2018. Had a brief because I wanted to get more ring time. I wanted to get more reps in. I went to a show to do some reps, get kind of not get my big break to say the least, but kind of get not myself out there, but how do I put it? Like you know what I mean when I say basically get more time in the ring and learn more.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So that didn't go over well, and I got blackballed from Chikara.
Ooh.
So I get blackballed, and then a friend of mine, very big props to him. I wouldn't be where I am without him. His name, I'm going to go with his work name. His work name is Zachary Snow from House of Glory. He was a referee there, and he also worked at the Bronx Wrestling Federation. So he asked me to come up and train with him up in Bronx there for a little while. So I did. Trained with him. He helped me get better, and then kind of kept going with that. And then I eventually went to East Coast Professional Wrestling out there in New Jersey. Shout out to them. That wouldn't be where I'm at without them either. I trained over there with Gino Caruso and some of his guys out there. And then I made my official pro wrestling
Gino
debut.
told you so.
No, Gino Caruso.
Oh, Gino Caruso,
And then
another guy.
I eventually departed from there to go and train with some relatively unknown guy out in Pennsylvania. And then kind of did some shows here and there over in Pennsylvania where I'm located at. And then I think I met one of you two at I think it was Triple WA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
And then long after that, which they never brought me back, so it's on them. So if they want to bring me back, it is what it is. If not, it's also what it is. What it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to hold any bones against them. So a little bit after that, I got into a group with Felipe Jr. Shout out to him. I wouldn't be where I'm at without him either. And then along the way, I did shows as well. And just recently, I did a show before I got COVID with Primetime Pro Wrestling. And I use this platform to promote that anyone can wrestle. That anyone of any disorder can wrestle, no matter what they have or whether they're physically disabled or mentally disabled. I'm a little bit like on the spectrum, but
Mm-hmm.
I basically get in the ring and show that I can do it too.
Well, before we get into that part of it, I got some comments here. Cousin Phil, what's up, Cousin Phil? I haven't seen him in a while. Looks like Stitch from Disney. Maybe I think he's talking about your mask. Mr. Ping, Saint Sanchez is here. Hey guys, what's up, Mr. Ping? How are you, sir?
Mr. Ping.
Good to see you. So that's inspirational that you are on the spectrum, as you called it, and that you can still do this at a high level. So talk about that. Exactly what are we talking about here in case they're not reading between the lines.
What I mean by on the spectrum is that I'm autistic. I was born autistic. I'm like one of going to pull the curtain a little bit.
Okay.
I'm basically number 5 of 7 in my family.
Okay.
It's all boys, and I'm the only guy that does this. So after I eventually hang up the mask, I don't know if there's going to be anyone after me, or if there's going to be anybody long after I'm gone.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about outside of your family, if you just said that you're showing that if you could do this,
yeah,
then when you hang that mask up, I'm sure there's some kids that are growing up now in the same spectrum that can say, well, he can do this.
Yeah, why not me?
Maybe I can. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you and Nico Gray, blazing trails.
Nico Gray, yeah. You ever wrestle with him or in the same show with him?
I don't. Where is he from?
He's mostly CZW these days. We met him when he was a regular with 3WA. He was there for, I'm gonna say 2 years off and on.
Mm-hmm.
Got very close to winning the hardcore title, and then he got a really good offer to basically go full time with CZW. And
nice.
Like he said to us, I can't say no to that. It's like, of course you can't say no to that. You love working there, and it's a name promotion. I mean, go grab that brass ring, get it done.
So classic Johnny Potter's here. He says working with individuals on the spectrum during his 9 to 5. I must say, hearing his story is very inspirational.
Thank you. It means like when people say like, oh, I either like people that I even shoot work with, like some people have work taking care of their cousin. I'm like, that's more disabled than I am. I'm like, props off to you, man. Like, if that what helps him with his day to day, like, props to him. It takes a lot to deal with people that are on the spectrum like me, and even more that are worse off than me.
Right.
Mhm.
So props.
So not only have the people who have helped you train been there for you, but wrestling in general has been there for you, right? I mean, wrestling
Yeah,
is what is one of your big motivating things, right?
yeah. Like I've gotten to step in the ring with a CMLL like former wrestler, and it's like very uplifting when he says like, "I want to train with you because you have like the drive, you have the passion, you have like what I want to see out of like you younger people nowadays."
Right. So, how long have you been in the game? Like when did you start up till
Five
now?
years.
Five total years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So talk about some of those, as you would call them, highlights of those 5 years.
Oh my God, where did I start? Oh man, I got to share a locker room with some AAA guys. I got to meet Drago. I got to be on a show with Mantequilla from House of Glory, which
Yeah.
he is like phenomenal, absolutely tremendous athlete. And I got to be on the same show with this Sean Pratt, who is also used to be uh, Amasis, if I remember correctly, from Chikara, who also teamed with Ophidian. So, like to kind of be in the same locker room with him. Like after watching him as a fan, it's like, oh my goodness, I'm on the other side of the railing now. This is awesome. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, I still get starstruck whenever I see like people that I saw as a fan. It's like, oh wow, this is awesome. Like I still get starstruck.
Have you had that match that sticks in your head as you're like, man, I killed it tonight. That was a great match.
Yeah, definitely Felipe Jr.
You versus him?
Yeah,
Okay.
not
Talk
the
about
one
that
to
one.
not
Where
the one
was it? Like how long
not the
ago?
one not the one at the Triple WA, because that one was not up to par, but the one at PCWA.
Okay.
Me and him both were doing a feud at the time, and I still want to revisit the feud because we still have a lot more stories to tell.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a connection there because you thanked him for you wouldn't be where you were
Yeah,
without him.
You guys
But
want
at
to
the same
do?
token, like best of friends, worst of best friends make best enemies kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So
Definitely.
I'm curious about the lucha style, right? Because we don't see a lot of Latin America, especially with the mask. I
Oh,
mean, I know about the traditional mask in Mexico, and there's been some successful masked wrestlers in Japan.
oh
Here in
yeah.
America,
I,
though, you can kind of count them on one hand because, let's face it, it's a limitation, right? You don't have your full range of facial expression. In America, we tend to be a
no.
little more the storytelling, the facials, all of that stuff. So I'm curious how you decided on, hey, I'm going to be the hyena, I'm going to wear a mask, knowing that you might be limiting yourself. Like, where does that come from?
Actually it came from like my own family because like I'm not a Philly fan at all. So
Mhm.
like I just am a natural antagonist to my family when it comes to like watching Eagles, Flyers, Sixers, the Union, or whatever have you.
You've
Mm-hmm.
just broken
So
Al's heart. You've named all of his teams and said, yeah, I'm against them.
I don't hold it against them, but I love your family. I don't even know them. I don't even know them, and I love your family.
That's fine. That's fine. But like growing up with like Philly family, it's like then having to like eventually have to either pick, do I want to go down like the normal route and do like without the mask, or do I want to do with the mask? What made me ultimately decide on the mask was from watching some of the indie guys that I saw locally, like even watching Tinderboss Jr. up in New York that one time, and
Mm-hmm.
getting to meet him, which I'm 6'2", he stands at 6'4". He's taller than I am.
Mm-hmm.
That was very I was even wearing cowboy boots when I remember I took the picture with him. I look at him like, they, apparently they grow them taller down in Mexico as well. I got to meet Blue Demon Jr. as well, without my mask on. I'm like, oh, this is like every other person I have ever met. Even though like Blue Demon's like one of the biggest names down in Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
and like I remember watching the match between, I think it was him and Tinablos Jr. It was like going to church. It was amazing.
So really, it comes from your love of lucha libre and saying,
Yeah.
if I'm going to have a wrestling style and I'm going to be part of this, I'm going to honor what brought me to the dance instead of maybe trying to take the path that most everyone else does.
Oh yeah. Like if I would have went down the other path, I would have eventually like adopted face paint, or would have done like I already do. Like if I do a show, I do black eyeliner along the eyes here,
Right.
and do the whole thing.
Is it harder for you to incorporate a lucha style at 6'2" than it is for say somebody who's for somebody who's like 5'9" or 10, like Felipe Jr.?
Yeah, like it's definitely different because I'm more of a technical / like big man style kind of wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
So like I kind of like to introduce some here and there, but I don't go to like the third rope or like the second. No, I do go to the second, but like to kind of do evade tricks and all that. But
Right.
that's at most, like rarely, if I ever go to like the second rope.
Right, because I mean, we see guys like Luchasaurus. That's another big guy that wants to work like the lucha style, and part of the problem with that is you're not really built for it.
No.
At 6'2" or over 6 feet, you're kind of like, okay, let's do this, and your body's kind of like, what are you smoking? Like, no, we're not supposed to fly through the air. What are you doing? Which I mean is kind of wrestling in general, right? I mean, the human body is not meant to wrestle, and then it seems like you come into this business and you said, I'm going to do it my way, and if that's harder than the average, screw it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, yeah, like, and no offense taken, no offense to Luchasaurus, but he can do those things. I think Luchasaurus is one of those guys where you see him and he can do those things. Doesn't mean he should. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but I could see him being inspirational to somebody yourself who wants to adapt that style, who is your size. And Luchasaurus, my biggest knock on Luchasaurus is the gimmick. I think the guy's a tremendous athlete. I really do.
Dinosaur.
Right. It's a dinosaur. When he came out with Jungle Boy, and it was Jungle Boy and his pet dinosaur, it was a good comedy gimmick, I thought.
Now it's Christian and his big kill.
But I couldn't really take him seriously. To me, there's so much potential there to be this big heel guy that can just bulldoze his way through the competition at AEW. That's my opinion.
He is. No,
if he has but if he has the right,
find that now.
I don't know if it's too late or not, but
my concern was obviously we saw him getting hurt a lot, right? A lot of like ACL tears and things like that, because again, being a bigger guy, you're not meant to try to do the Rey Mysterio stuff. That worked for Rey because Rey was smaller.
Yeah, Rey is like 5'8",
5'5",
around there.
And I mean, his knees still are eating shit for it now, but eating shit for it, after 20 years or so. Whereas a bigger gentleman like yourself, if you say, you know what, I'm going to be the next Rey Mysterio, you probably got 5 or 10. If that, before everything just rebels and is like, we weren't meant to do this. No.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I remember people are like, why don't you do the lucha stuff? I'm like, look at me for 1 second, then look at someone over there that's 5'8".
Right.
This can't do that. So
Right. If you're going to
Like,
do
why don't
that kind of stuff, it's got to be special occasions, big matches,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Oh yeah. Like even with big matches, like I wouldn't pull out the big moves. I wouldn't pull out the flips. I wouldn't pull out the whatever have you, because like if I'm gonna be doing that, like I'd rather not do it than to do it. Like I'm already 6'2", and like I'm still recuperating whatever size I had from having COVID. Like I was 253.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Like now I'm back to 240 again.
Wow.
You lost like almost 15 pounds with COVID.
Try 17.
17 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm glad you're feeling better though. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two. So what? Have you developed a finisher? How you like to finish? And did you name it at all?
Yeah, I have. I've used a finisher called the Flea Collar, which is a dragon sleeper into a gulak.
Okay.
Okay.
Different.
Now I've used it a couple times here and there. I'm already looking at kind of switching it up a little bit. So I'm already going to be doing some different
And you
big
call that the
mans.
flea collar.
Yes. It's a in joke with a lot of people that are like, "Oh, Hyena have fleas." I'm like, "Huh? Tell me how."
Well, they are in the canine family, so to speak.
Actually, no, not really.
Feline,
No.
I believe, right?
No,
What are they? Are they cats? I don't know what are they, Keith?
hyenas are like their own separate family, their own separate
Oh,
Okay.
clan.
really? They're not even feline.
No.
Wow. I have
Interesting.
learned something.
I have too. Chris Vance here. What's up, Chris? Sup,
Okay.
guys? We're talking with the hyena. So what have you been up to lately? I mean, before COVID happened, you said you recently had a match right before COVID. Who did you
Yeah,
wrestle?
it was a battle royal. Very weirdly,
Oh, where?
almost every promotion I have done thus far, I believe, has been a battle royal where I have made my appearance.
Okay.
But however, normally I lose and get tossed out.
Okay.
But this time around, I actually won one. So
Really?
yeah,
Where was this?
Flemington, New Jersey.
Oh, Flemington. Yeah, I used to live in Hunterdon County.
It was
I used
at
to live.
the
Keith
Elks Lodge
Keith
there.
lives. What? Keith, you live like 30 minutes from Flemington, don't you?
Yeah, 20 or 30.
Yep.
I believe my next thing is a taping in January, and then after that will be another show back at the Flemington location.
Okay. Do they
Which
have
company
any
was that? Which
fairgrounds
company
there?
was that?
Primetime Pro Wrestling.
Okay. I've heard of them. I've heard of Primetime.
Yeah, they definitely gave me a chance, and they basically said, "All right, you're part of us now. Welcome aboard."
So how
So
many guys were in the Battle Royal?
20
20.
in
And
total.
was there a prize involved? Like
I don't believe so. No.
no, there was no like contendership or anything.
Nope.
It was just hey, here's a Battle Royal.
Not even like $20,000. Gotta have some kind of
Yeah,
you
one of
don't
those
know that
deals.
the old wrestling, $20,000 or win a car and
It used to be that, yeah. One
yeah,
night,
Yeah, what-
one night with Baby Doll,
some kind of
whatever.
state. I'm pretty sure you cannot do that in this day and age.
no.
Not
No.
even a little bit. Yeah.
No, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. But I'm happy they got the win though. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Improvement
20
Battle
guys and you
Royal.
outlasted all 20 of them. That's good for you, man. That's pretty cool.
yeah, it is. Definitely is.
Now, was there some? Who were some of the? Do you remember some of the opponents in that match?
Joey Sins, who is a part of WWX. Sir Aaron Mayesro, who is also a part of WWX.
Mm-hmm.
Smiley, who I shared the locker room with and also got a picture with as a fan.
Yep.
So that was a full circle moment in my career there. And also, Smiley is one to watch as well.
Yeah.
Very nice guy, and
He's a character.
yeah, he is. He
He's
very much
definitely a
is.
character.
Big Bad Blake of ECPW, and can't remember all the other ones. So.
Yeah, I just thought a few. You named a few. That's good.
Yeah.
You know who he named, Keith? He named the guys he tossed over the top ropes.
Why? Hey,
I don't mean to keep making him laugh because every time he laughs, he coughs.
Oh no!
I'm sorry.
That is all right. It's all good.
What were you saying, Keith?
I said, hey, a wise man once said, if you don't put yourself over, who else will?
That's true.
He is an awful wise man. All right.
Yes.
Who do we got here? Oh, who do we got here?
I swear to God, I'll say that wrong.
El Jabaro, Captain Wepa? Is that right?
Oh.
Do you know him?
Hey, punk. Where's my title?
Hey,
Where's
punk,
my title
where's
at,
my title,
man?
he says. Hyena's calling you out.
Where's my title, you
Aldebaran.
promise? Huh? Where is it at?
Oh, Captain, my captain is here. Love it. I love these guys popping up here and, like, you know, calling you out. That's pretty cool. What title are you speaking of?
I can't say, but it's been one I've been chasing for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, goals. Gotta have them.
Yep, definitely.
Love it, man. Love it.
Thank
So,
you.
I mean, you've been at it for 5 years now.
Yeah.
All right. So, where do you see yourself in 5 years? 5 years from now?
Probably still wrestling. Like, probably still going around, going wherever the promoters need me. And if they don't, it
Well,
is what it is, you know?
will you stay local or will you try get moving out a little bit further out, or you know, how far are you
I don't
willing
know
to
if
go?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not, but I
You can
already
say what you
have.
want.
Okay, I'm already gonna be going out to Kansas next year.
Okay, great.
There you go, dude. That's awesome. Dude, Kansas.
Yeah,
That's badass. I mean,
I'll be going out to.
is that still Harley Race Country, Professor? I don't know.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Kansas, Missouri, that general area there. That was the old heartland, the old Kansas City territory. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, that'll be interesting.
yeah. I'm trying to.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. We
on the
definitely
tip
we
of
have
my
to.
tongue exactly what the
We're gonna have
office.
to keep tabs on you, and after you go out to Kansas and come back, we're gonna have to talk about that trip.
Definitely. I already
Talk about
have
that
like
road trip, man.
various other things already in mind while I'm out there. I already have a food truck on my list.
I
Los
mean,
Charlos, Los Charlos Birria, which like I love birria meat.
Mm-hmm.
I love my Mexican food, so any good Mexican places out in Kansas is already on my list. So
I'm all about Mexican food, but it has to be like authentic, like a Mexican family owns it kind of place.
yeah.
Yeah, not a chain. You know, I don't like chains. I like real Mexican, like
You're about to
you
knock me
know.
for this one then. I love you ever heard of Casa Toro?
Yeah,
yeah.
There's like two different locations. Like there's one up by me and then there's another one in Doylestown. So
right.
It's not exactly a chain though. I mean, we have a
No,
local
right.
pizzeria down here that they have a couple of locations across 2 towns, and that's it.
I mean, I'm
But
talking like on the
we own
border,
the
like you know, like on the border is good, but it's not as good as if you go to like you know.
right.
There used to be a place called Ricardo's,
ooh.
which no longer exists. Unfortunately, it shut down. But that place was amazing. They had fajitas. They had the sizzling fajitas that they brought out, and you get to put them together. You know that kind of stuff. They had these tamales, enchiladas, unbelievable. They had the fruit. They had the mango empanadas.
Ooh.
Good lord. Felipe
Speaking of,
Jr. in the house.
Felipe's here.
oh my buddy!
Azteca Death Club.
You know it.
There he is.
ADC.
La Lucha King. Keith, he's been ducking us for years. La Lucha King. You know
I
that?
Oh,
don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say ducking. I mean, Look,
I don't know.
he's got an open invitation to come on here.
He does, but I had I
If
handed him a
you
card a
win,
time or two, and we were gonna,
yeah,
we were gonna have him on here. I think we did have him on here once 3 years ago, but I could be wrong.
yeah,
He could
it would
correct
have.
me.
I
He's
have
here.
to go
He's
Would
here
through the
watching right now. He
archive.
can
I
correct
have
me.
to go through the archive.
Yeah, it would be back in the mist of time, wouldn't it?
I wish I had the power just to kind of go off while you guys talked amongst yourselves and kind of pull
Yeah.
up the clip of Felipe Jr. on Around the Turnbuckle. Hit
Ah,
me
there
up.
we
We'll work
go.
something out. See that, Keith? Keith,
See what
you're making connections.
See what happens out when you try to catch people with honey and not vinegar, and try not to shame them and just come on the show. We'll talk to you. And you're all like,
Oof.
oh, come on the show. Stop talking to me. Let's fight.
It's reverse psychology. He asked to be on now. See,
And I'm the one that's getting beat up at shows. Why is nobody attacking you? Why are they always attacking me?
I don't know.
you listen.
You just have that face.
I
don't
guess
know.
I do.
I
I'm attacked by JT Cage. I've been attacked by Wyndham James Winthorpe III a couple of times.
Oy, that
Now,
bird.
is the hyena normally a heel, dude? Like, is he normal? I mean, I know when you go to different promotions, they might need you to be something else
Yeah.
that particular night, but for the most part, is the hyena a heel?
Typically, yeah. I'll be a heel out in Kansas, so.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
remember
makes
when they hit
sense.
me up like, "Hey, do you mind if you be a heel?" I'm like, "Awesome! Yeah,
Right up,
I
yeah.
have.
Do you enjoy that
Yes, I get
better?
to
Like,
be a dick."
yeah. Yeah, because I root for the heels, so I
Yeah.
always root for the heels. The professor, he'll call the action for 3WA, and then he'll correct me when or he'll bring me down off of my high stool when try to defend the heels any way I possibly can in their shenanigans. But I love the heels. It
You
started
gotta do
back
what
at
you
Roddy
gotta
Piper, and so the hyena's cool with me because you're a heel.
do.
And it makes sense too. I mean, because you're probably bigger than a lot of your opponents most of the time, and then
I know for
being
right now, over where I'm at with primetime, I'm a face for the time being, so
okay.
Okay.
I can't say what comes next. But
Gotcha. Tune in and find out. No
yep.
spoilers here.
That's right. So where are you going to be next locally that people can see you wrestle?
Next locally,
January.
well, that's the taping, so there's no audience allowed
Okay,
for
there's no.
that.
Okay, all
So
right.
next would be February 25th, I believe.
Okay.
But
Okay.
no, the next one after that, I go down south to West Virginia.
Oh,
Wow, nice.
Unless if I'm about to get a text here that'll say to tell me to shut up. So, whoops. But
I love it, man.
but February, if West Virginia doesn't happen, would be February over in Flemington. So
Okay, so for the same place you had the battle royal, right? Flemington.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, you want to check him out? You got to follow him on all the you have socials you want to promote.
Instagram, the Hyena PW, uh, Facebook.com/the Hyena Obscuro, haha. And I also have threads as well. Same thing as my Instagram. And yeah.
Keith, I'm getting a vibe from him, man, that he just likes to laugh, like the Joker and Batman. That's why the hyena thing.
It fits. I mean, the gimmick, right? And like I say, that
It
also
works.
naturally leans towards the heel. Hyenas don't have great reputations, right? They have a reputation as a scavenger, as hit you from behind, any means necessary, all that good stuff. So I mean, they always say, what's the best gimmick? You turned up.
Yeah.
Right.
Sounds like that's kind of what you're doing here.
Yeah, I mean, I would incorporate that more. If you got a guy down and you're stomping his guts out, I'd laugh while you do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Just have fun, because that's what wrestling is.
Well, I always enjoy whenever I get to throw this on, like either for interview or like pictures or whatever have you. So it feels very rewarding to be on this after a full week of not being able to see or talk to almost anyone. So,
Well, like I said, I'm glad you're feeling better, man.
Yeah.
oh, I feel better.
So, um, how much do you pay attention to like AEW, WWE? Do you watch that at all?
I have not been paying attention to
No.
AEW for a while, but just recently I got back into AEW to kind of watch like what Luchasaurus, well, Killswitch and Christian Cage are doing now,
Mm-hmm.
and also CM Punk's return. So almost as soon as that happened, that Survivor Series, like I'm like, all right, okay, okay, I guess I'm tuning back in again.
Yeah, it's kind of infectious, right? I mean, whether you like him or whether you hate him, it doesn't matter. People talk about him.
Yeah.
There's one wrestler that, well, I wouldn't even count him as a wrestler. I would count him more as like a celebrity. Logan Paul,
Right.
that douche nozzle.
But I tell you, that guy, I give him credit for learning this craft, coming from where he came from.
And he went and learned correctly. I'm pretty sure he's a Rip Rogers guy. And if you want to learn how to do this, Rip is a great guy to go to. Tough, certainly not easy to train with him or work with him because he is a no bullshit, brutally honest kind of guy from what I understand about him. I don't follow him on social media because I don't know how much on social media he is, but I do follow Rudy Gonzalez, and Rudy Gonzalez occasionally will get posts from Rip about different things, and you can tell Rip's an old school curmudgeon and very much like, this is the way it should be done, and, fuck you if you think differently kind of deal. So I got to give Logan Paul the credit for seeking out, really good training and being serious about it.
For me personally, like, you can be as talented as you can be, and I won't give a like. The character and the morals have to be like. I try to be morally perfect, like good, but
Mm-hmm.
to me, like for what he has done, like he's still a piece of shit.
Well, a lot of people feel that way, and that's the point. I mean, a lot of people feel like he's a piece of shit, and that gets you talking about him. We're talking about him right now, and it sounds like to me you don't like him.
Yeah, and
No.
But we're talking about him. And I mean, that's the point with wrestling. You're either on one end or the other. Like you can't. If you're kind of in the middle, you kind of get lost in the shuffle. But if you're extremely hated or extremely loved, people talk about you.
Oh yeah.
And if you're both, then everybody talks about you. And that's where
AKA
CM Punk.
John
That's
Cena.
where CM Punk comes in, because there are a lot of people that love. There are a lot more people that love him than hate him, but there are those haters out there.
Oh yeah,
But they talk about the guy,
definitely.
and that's the thing. I mean,
It reminds me of Howard Stern back in the day, where it was, the average Howard Stern listener that loves him. I want to see what he says next. The average
Right.
person that hated him and didn't want, but they wanted to hear what he said next.
Next.
Like,
Yep.
Either way, you wanted to listen. You wanted to know what was going to happen next. You wanted to know what he was going to say next. And I think Punk's kind of gotten himself into a similar space where it's like, whether they love me or they hate me, they want to see what I say next, and they're going to pay attention.
Oh yeah. Like I have my own set of detractors. Like I've already gotten like various stuff here and there. It's like, oh well, you hate me, you love me, or not know what to do. You know.
So the reason why I ask you
all the time.
The reason why I ask you about whether or not you pay attention to current wrestling events on TV is because then my next question is, do you, in your training, as you've been at this for 5 years, have you gone back and watched classic stuff? Whether it be from the 80s, the 90s, whatever, Attitude Era or whatever. Do you go back and look at on the network or on Peacock or whatever and go back and check out some old footage some old promos, like stuff like that, to learn a little bit more?
I kind of go with like the modern stuff, but like from different countries.
Mhm.
Okay,
Like CMLL, Triple A,
AAA stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
like all the fancy flips and all the different like low to the ground movements is like
Mhm.
kind of like my very much my zen.
Are you
Because
a
I
fan
love.
of like the Lucha Brothers, like those guys in AEW?
Oh
Oh,
hell yeah,
yeah.
I love them. I love them a lot.
Yeah, because I was going to ask if you've been able to find like classic CMLL or AAA, or even going back to like a
FMW.
Santo or a Mil Mascaras or somebody like that, and saying like, "Hey, they're in my lane. They're luchadors, and these are the guys that crossed over and were able to be names that an American audience might recognize."
WCW had a division, right? I mean, they had
Right.
the cruiserweight division. They brought all
Yeah,
these guys in.
actually, no, that was WCW.
Yeah.
What's that?
That was That was WCW.
No, I
Yeah.
know, but I mean, they brought a lot of guys from all over the world. They brought
Yeah.
Japanese guys in, Mexican guys. They wanted a whole division of that.
Yeah,
Nothing but luchadors.
ECW
Oh,
did
yeah.
it first, and then Kevin Sullivan was like, "Hey, you want money? Make money."
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking guys like Juventud Guerrera and Ultimo Dragon, and
I
I
remember got to
mean,
do a seminar with Ultimo Dragon.
did you really?
Really?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
He speaks little English.
Very little.
Yeah, very little. Fuck off.
They had like an interpreter with him.
Yeah, he had Sonny.
Oh, okay. So
Okay,
he was still working with him.
that
Yep.
works.
That cool.
I did not know that. I didn't realize they were that close, because I knew Sonny got in because he was somebody Bischoff worked with outside of the business, and then Bischoff brought him in. I didn't realize that he had actually gotten close to Ultimo Dragon during that time.
He actually oversaw like the Mexico Japanese guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and I actually have a. He actually told a Ric Flair story.
Oh,
All right.
nice.
We always love a good Ric Flair story.
So one night Ric Flair went out, like ran up a bar tab, tipped the waitress one of his wristwatches.
That sounds like Ric Flair.
Totally.
Pardon me. So in the morning, not Ric Flair, Sonny Ono gets a call from Eric Bischoff, and he's saying, "Hey, Ric Flair is like wondering where his wristwatch went. Do you know where it went?" He's like, "Yeah, he tipped it to the waitress last night." So, yeah.
So he didn't even remember doing that.
No, he was blackout drunk.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
that sounds like Flair.
Most of his career. Woo! Now he's on energy drinks.
Oh, I wanted to try his energy drinks. Like
I don't. I'm afraid. From what I've heard, I'm scared they got a little Viagra in there or something. I don't. Who knows?
boy.
Rick's not making. Well, Rick's not making him in his bathtub. I mean, it's a company that is paying him to use his light.
Woo!
He's a spokesperson. I can't imagine Ric Flair going out and being like, "Whoa, I got a recipe for an energy drink."
He's already getting in trouble in AEW. Keith, he's telling 18-year-olds and 18 to 28-year-olds like meet me at my hotel room and stuff. You can't do that these days.
No, but Ric Flair is Ric Flair. I don't think he's going to change at this stage of the game. I think
75.
For better and for worse, I think he is who he is, and hopefully it will not end badly, because I'm worried about him these days. I really am.
El Monchero, JCM is here, and he says, "Hello, guys, and hope you're having a good weekend." Thank you. We hope you have as well. And if we don't get a chance to talk to you, sir, happy holidays.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
I don't think we will be seeing him before that. So yeah, definitely.
Feliz Navidad in your case. Yes. So all right, brother, is there anything we haven't talked about that you would like to?
What haven't we talked about?
I don't know.
Kind of going around the
Well,
world.
we wanted you to tell your story. You told your story. We found out what you're up to now. We found out what you're up to in the near future.
I'll be heading back to training eventually, hopefully, like after I let my body rest from having COVID. So that's
Got to
what's
get
going to
back.
be up.
Yeah, you just got to
Yep.
get just got to get healthy, and you got to get back on the saddle. And do you work out often?
Yeah, I have my own personal gym in my den. So
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Commitment.
yeah.
Absolutely. Sometimes, once in a while, not that often, but sometimes we like to play a little game where we ask you about a scenario where it's a dream match scenario where
Huh.
before you hang up that mask, is there a wrestler out there that you'd like to wrestle before your career's
Oh.
over?
There are so many wrestlers like from different countries. Like it's hard,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
but there's no way he would probably ever accept or probably ever come out of retirement. But I already know. No, he's already dead. Hmm. I have to say, if I were to retire, which will probably be in this case in like probably 10 years from now, so we
Okay.
have plenty of time. Because body can't body is only designed to take so much of this.
Hmm.
And also, I need to commit to my shoot job, so.
Right.
But my dream opponent would have to be either Pentagon or either from CMLL, my good friend Hirohito.
There you go.
He's doing like really good right now. I remember
I
watching
mean,
him.
those are two not out of the realm possibilities.
Oh yeah, like
Like they're not like so far fetched. Where if you
Right.
throw at me Rey Mysterio, I mean, the guy's going to retire
Yeah.
and pretty sooner than later.
But keep the dream going, because we know folks that have wrestled people that they said, I'd never be able to do that. JT Cage has wrestled Shane Douglas a couple of times, and being a gigantic ECW fan like he is, that blew his mind every time. Merrick Miami grew up a fan of Matt Cardona, was a broski of the week,
Yep.
ooh,
back in the day and all of that.
hey
Got to
Nick,
And you got
wrestle
to
Matt
wrestle him.
Cardona, and now they're very good friends. I mean, dreams come true sometimes in the wrestling business,
Yep.
and you never say never.
We're living proof.
Yeah.
We're calling professional wrestling on any level, and it's a dream.
Yep.
And so it's awesome. It's awesome to be there ringside, watching it live, watching you guys do your thing, and calling the matches on commentary like the greats before us. And anybody that comes up to us and gives us critiques, gives us comments, gives us encouragement, says we suck. We appreciate each and every one of those people that come up to us and talk to us during the shows.
same thing.
Because
Like
we're just trying to
Thankfully,
help. That's all we're there
yeah,
for.
thankfully, nobody's really told me I suck yet. I can't say the same about you, Al,
I
but
get Big Al suck chants every time I'm in Quakertown, Hyena. I get Big Al suck chants, and I take
maybe
it very
stop talking.
personally because I did not do anything to those people. I have graced them with my presence for 3 years, and this is the way they treat me.
well, look at it
Self-awareness
this
does
way.
not exist.
Well, look at it this way. At least you didn't go to Penn Ridge
That's true.
like
All
I
right.
did. So,
How about we end this thing with a challenge? You are
Yeah.
being
boy.
openly challenged right now.
Ooh, by
You like
who?
this? JCM says Hyena versus JCM. 3WA soon. First time ever. Let's get it.
Hmm. Well, talk to the promoter and see what happens.
Yeah, picture the
Tell them to
ball.
bring them in, man. JCM, you got pull around there, don't you?
Felipe, let's go. I need
Felipe,
my Felipe with me. I need my Felipe. I
you need your Felipe with you. There you
need my
go.
Felipe.
Hyena versus JCM. First time
Wait,
ever.
what is it? Where is it? I think it is over in that corner right there. If you see
Who
it,
is?
like
Yes.
over the drawing over there. That was a gift to me from a good buddy of mine who collects drawings from shows, cartoons, and even like cell animation cells as well.
Oh, nice.
That drawing is a master copy of a Taskmaster from one of the Spider-Man cartoons.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool?
Very.
So,
I'll see what I can do, but I'll still prepare. That's what he says. He's always prepared, that guy.
He is, but he won't be prepared for these falls.
He will not. Absolutely not, man. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna get out of here, Hyena. It's been a pleasure, dude, getting to know you, hearing your story, and we're gonna check up on you in like 6 months or so,
Sounds
and
good.
talk about that Kansas trip.
Yes, sir.
And we hope you have a happy holidays, and we hope everybody
Thank you.
has a happy holidays. If you don't tune in to us next week, we have one more show in 2023. And Professor, who's the guest?
That would be Order 66.
SWO Tag Team Champions. Yes, that guy. Those guys. Order 66 will be in the house, and we will execute Order 66 right here on Around the Turnbuckle next week. In the meantime, for the Professor and the Hyena, I'm Big Al, and we'll see you guys next week.
You think you know me?
Oh, yeah! If you smile! Calculations are correct. When this